Welcome to this special conversation on health insurance where women take the lead. Today I have another very interesting guest with me, Preeta Sukhtankar, the founder and CEO of The Label Life. Preeta, it's a pleasure to have you with us today.
Likewise.
And it's an interesting topic. It's an interesting industry that you hail from, colorful and fashionable. Is that how you describe yourself?
I would rather describe myself as tired and overworked, but I like your response better. So,
oh, okay. So label life, and an interesting concept in a very competitive landscape. You guys got some of the biggest stars together from Bollywood, some very well-known faces, but not just as brand endorsers, someone who's coming on in advertising. What was this concept? What got you here? Because the reason I'm curious is apparently you yourself were in media. And maybe even a journalist at some point
yes,
in time?
I actually started my career off as a journalist. A bit of, a background on why we do what we do. We actually believe that today no brand can function as, far from a customer and cannot use the traditional forms of media. So what we like to say we are is we are a content engine. We're direct to consumer. So using these style editors, and as you rightfully said, we don't use them as brand ambassadors, but as style guides, as editors of clothing, if you may. We use them really as content vehicles, and that's how we're really reaching the brand out directly to our consumer. And having had a background in content, I used to be a producer at MTV, a stylist and writer at Elle. I feel like I grew up with this Indian consumer, and I knew that she wasn't really looking for a brand that she didn't sort of have an engagement with. And that's what I think the Label Life does differently. We have one of the largest Instagram followings. We do a lot of video content, and we don't just sell you an outfit, we actually sell you a look.
Whether, a lot of these powerful and strong, wonderful looking women who are associated with the brand, how hands-on are they really? Or is it just sort of a team of designers and they kind of come in and it's more of a branding and marketing exercise?
I think that's where we're different, because even if you follow any of the three on various social media, they actually do wear us in real life. And we also do things like master classes with the ladies, and especially someone like Malaika is really particular about how the hemline on something, and Suzanne will point out if the umbrella isn't opening properly. And a lot of people don't know this, but Bipasha has large feet. And she wants to talk about it, and she actually feels that there aren't many shoes that are being made that work for women with broader feet. This being one of the examples. So they are very hands-on.
Fair enough. So you work with strong women, and I'm sure your client profile also involves a lot of independent women. Maybe some of them would be working, many of them might be working. Now I'm talking about finance. Isn't it curious when women can make decisions on great ensemble, on great accessories, can go out, spend their own money? Isn't it curious that not very many of them want to engage with their own finances? What is your observation on this? Because you're a professional yourself, you're a business head yourself.
Yeah. Personally, I don't engage that much with finances only because I can't be bothered to look into that as well. So, I'll always leave it up to my partner, not because he's a man, but I would leave it up to my middle-class Maharashtrian mom. She'd be super at it.
Okay.
Having said that, I think it's not that I don't like discussing finances. In my case, it's just that I feel like I'd rather just watch something on TV than look at my a balance sheet. To be honest, I haven't even filed my own taxes myself forever.
Appreciate you being so candid, because I think that's the reason these conversations are really, really important. That's what I look at personal finance myself, and I know what you're saying, because a lot of women in finance also try and shirk away when it comes to their own money. One message that's getting driven home increasingly is that even before you look at investments, insurance is important, not just life, but health, because God forbid you fall ill, the first thing you need is a financial cover, otherwise you will deplete your resources.
I have a 6-year-old who just not even a year back went through a very random fall and broke her elbow, and I didn't have health insurance.
Wow.
So now this is something that is top of mind for me, only because I had to pay quite a lot of money. And it wasn't a thought that had even crossed my mind, because she's 6. Like, what was I going to need health insurance for? So yes, it is something that I will have willfully changed my mind towards today. But having said that, again, not top of mind, you're absolutely right. And it should be something that, at least women are more committed to.
So what is required to spread the messaging? Because what happens typically with health insurance is you make your mistake, someone falls ill, you realize you didn't have the cover, you've burnt a lot of money, and then the message gets driven home.
But I really think women need to just be more aware themselves, right? A lot of us, I feel now, are really conscious of our own health. In comparison to moms who, I guess, put, the buzzword was to be self-sacrificial and family first, and not look into. I think it's already begun. So I think more role models like you and rest of us out there, I think it is just awareness. I actually, again, was wondering what sort of covers and premiums people pay, and I realized that it's actually lesser than what I would pay my fitness trainer a month.
Imagine. So that's the biggest myth out there,
think,
that, this will be complicated and that it will be expensive.
Yeah. And also, this, the amount of avocados and almond milk that's being drunk just in Bombay and Delhi, I think we could be smarter and do something for ourselves.
A fraction of the cost, especially if you take it earlier. The earlier the better. I mean, that's how premiums really work out there. Is there credibility and confidence with the product manufacturers, with those who provide this cover?
I actually think there is. I don't really think there's a claim issue as much, but I do think, if I remember correctly, something that I would be really concerned about would be what kind of diseases or what kind of illnesses sort of get covered in this. And this has been my question before as well, because with the big C word being on most people's minds, that would be more of a concern than claims.
So Preeta, finally, to sort of wrap it all up, great conversation with you. Now, what is the one message, if you were to give one message on health insurance to women like yourselves out there, what would it be? And if you were to give one health tip to women, what would it be?
I think for me, I just wish, especially with my daughter's hospitalization, like I said, I wish I'd known it was so easy. The advice that I would like to give all women is, since it's becoming so easy to consume, you have information online, maybe read fine print, understand what this covers, what sort of works for you. And since it's this easy and accessible, I think, it should be, a breeze to do.
Okay. Any health mantra that you follow personally yourself?
I just feel currently I just want to try being mindful in 2020. They say it's clear vision, the year of clear vision. So just be mindful.
Health starts with the mind. The soul and the body always follows. Thank you very much for this great conversation.
It was lovely. Thanks.
Rakho pura khayal with Aditya Birla Health Insurance Plans.